So if you were to take the relentless running of Erling Haaland, the body and hold-up play of Romelu Lukaku, and the skills of Leon Bailey, then you have a whisper. Those words I mentioned were the words of Craig Butler. And those who thinking, who's Craig Butler? Craig Butler is the adoptive father of the Aston Villa player Leon Bailey. Can you remember a few years ago when Chelsea were after Leon Bailey, the noise was that, you know, Leon Bailey was a Chelsea supporter, wanted to come to Chelsea, and all the Chelsea fan base wanted Leon Bailey, and it was his adoptive father, Craig Butler, who was being a bit difficult with the deal because he wanted us to also have other Jamaican players from his academy to come into the team. So the demands at the time weren't really reasonable for us. So we steer clear of Butler, Bailey when he was at Leverkusen. He's now playing in the Premier League for Aston Villa, and he's not doing a bad job. So, who is this guy? Dijon Whisper Richards is his name. And he comes from Port Royal. Any Jamaicans who watch this channel would know Port Royal is a nice place to go in Jamaica when you want a bit of festival and fish. You know, it's it was part of Kingston, but an earthquake ruined it, and it sort of separated from Kingston. It used to be the capital of Jamaica, if I remember right. So that's just a little Jamaican history for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamaicans, but I'm sure that's what my parents and grandparents told me, you know. So I've been to Port Royal a few times and enjoyed bami and fish and all the other Jamaican delicacies. Anyway, I'm not here to give you a Jamaica lesson, although we're talking about a Jamaica player here. I'm here to talk about this guy, and Dijon Whisper Richards. Why is his name Whisper? Because he listens a lot and talks a little. So what does this tell us? This tells us that we're signing a player who's willing to absorb things, who's willing to take things in, who's willing to learn, who's willing to grow. And although Butler has likened him to a cross between Erling Haaland and Romelu Lukaku, he more likens himself. He's looking at the likes of, he wants to be known like Alan Shearer, Harry Kane, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So he's got big ambitions. So if he can come and score as many goals as your likes of your Kanes, your Shearers, your Zlatans, I'm all in. Because obviously playing well in a league in the Jamaican league or American league is different from playing in the Premier League, but he's had some experience actually in playing over here. So he used to play for a Brookhouse College in Leicestershire. So yeah, he's played against, and I think that was a very good academy, a college academy. They played against the likes of Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and teams like that. So he's had experience in England, and also he was with Newcastle. He was on a 2-week trial with Newcastle. Newcastle thought they'd done enough to acquire his services, and they wanted to take up the option of signing him. But you know what? When Chelsea come, it's hard to turn down. So, and even Butler, who's a Chelsea supporter as well, he said it's a pleasure to have one of his players on our books. Interesting enough as well, Joe Shields, who's one of our youth academy directors at the club, he had discussions with Butler way back in 2 years ago. So was he at Manchester City then, or was he at Brighton? I think he was at Man City then. And so, you know what? He already knows about this player, and he already was keeping an eye on this player. But as Dijon's only 17 now, he cannot officially sign for us till he's 18. So he signed that pre-contract. So when he's 18, he can move over and play for Chelsea. What Chelsea's plans for him? Probably put him into the academy for a while, 1 season or 2, and then we'll probably, if he proves to be good enough for the first team, then he'll be playing the first team. I really hope he succeeds, because it'd be nice to have another Jamaican player on our books, being of Jamaican heritage myself. So that's the Phoenix FC Academy last season. You know, Chelsea struggling to score goals this season, but this guy knows where the back of the net is. So he scored a whooping of 31 goals and he had 19 assists. That's very impressive. Okay, you've got to look at the opposition that he's playing against, but still, in anyone's book, 30 goals, 19 assists, yeah. So, and he actually made his debut for Chelsea on Saturday. He featured in a 1-0 defeat against Trinidad and Tobago, but to bring him in at such a tender age, at 17, to make his debut, then there's some, they're expecting big things from this player. And this is how he describes himself. He says, my speed, strength, movement and skills help me to be a finisher, provider and creator. I like the player I've become, but I want to be remembered like a Zlatan, Harry Kane or Alan Shearer, as I already said. I want to keep improving my overall game as I'm strong in all areas. But if I want to be remembered as one of the best, I have to keep working harder every single day. Great attitude. That's what I love to see. Brilliant attitude. And another thing which I love about him, and this is what makes me think that this guy, he's got the skill set to be a good player, but most of all, what I want in players is that mentality. And this guy looks like he has got the mentality, because why? He turned down a lucrative deal to play in the Middle East now, so he could have taken the money. But in the Middle East, he doesn't really want to play it. He wants to play in the biggest leagues that possible. So, he's willing to have less money to meet his ambitions of playing in the Premier League, the hardest league there is to play in. So you know what? I like the guy's ambition. I like the way that he's willing to take chances in his career to become the best player. I like the way that, as I said before, he's willing to take things in, listen to what his coaches say, and implement that into his game. So that goes a long way for me too, as well as ability. So, you know what? Big up to my Jamaican boy. And I said, please, please, please make it, because it'll be great to have a Jamaican striker banging in the goals for Chelsea. You know what? I'm saying this with a slight bit of caution, because I remember the last superstar to come out of Chelsea was a guy by the name of Boyd, and this guy Walter Boyd, he was meant to be the golden boy of Jamaica, back then. But for all his ability, there's one thing what stands out for me: the difference is Walter Boyd, so much talent, but the mindset wasn't there. But from what I'm seeing of Dujan. Is it Dujan or Dujuan? Someone can put his proper pronunciation. I think it's Dujuan or Dujan. The thing is, the difference with Dujan Richards is that this guy, as I said, he's got the mentality. So really looking forward to how he will do for us. So if any Jamaicans in here have seen him play and know anything about him, stick it in the comment section below. And do you think he'll be a good asset for Chelsea? Do you think he'll make it at Chelsea? Because we're buying in a lot of youngsters, not all of them are going to make it. Do you think he's one of the guys who's going to come in here and make it? Newcastle were impressed with him, other clubs were impressed with him, but the proof is in the pudding. Let's see how he progresses, and I'm waiting with bated breath just to see how this guy gets on. So don't forget, guys, to comment below, as I said, and stick a like on this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.